Thank you for watching this presentation, which will focus on reappointment rates. Let's start with an overview of what you will learn in this webinar. We will begin by introducing our philosophy on reappointment rates. The rest of the presentation will focus on learning all about reappointment rates, why they are important, and how to achieve a high reappointment percentage. We believe that if the entire team has the philosophy that every patient should leave their appointment with their next appointment scheduled, maintaining a reappointment rate of over 80% is easily attainable. It is very important for the patient to schedule their next appointment. It is a great benefit to their dental health if they maintain regular visits to the dentist and that they take care of any treatment that is needed. As a team, you spend a lot of time and energy educating the patient about their dental health. If they leave without their next appointment scheduled, the chances of them coming back greatly decrease. It is in everyone's best interest to maintain a high reappointment rate. You may be asking yourself, what is a reappointment rate? Well, a reappointment rate is simply a percentage that shows you how many of your patients are leaving your office with their next appointment scheduled. You track this daily, which then gives you weekly and monthly reappointment rates. One important thing to remember is that you aren't just focusing on hygiene or treatment appointments. If the patient has a future appointment scheduled, regardless of the type, this would count towards your reappointment rate. Next, let's talk a little bit more about the importance of maintaining a high reappointment rate. If the patient schedules a future appointment, they are very likely to then schedule around that visit so they can make it work. Encourage the patient to schedule this appointment. It reinforces the importance to the patient. If patients are leaving your office on a regular basis without their next appointment scheduled, to get them back into the office will turn into a game of phone or email tag. You will end up reaching out to them numerous times, but if they aren't answering your calls or returning your emails, it becomes very easy for them to fall through the cracks. Encouraging them to schedule their next appointment before they leave will help prevent that from happening. Keeping track of your reappointment rate is very simple. You simply figure out how many patients you saw that day, and then figure out how many of those patients have their next appointment scheduled. You will then divide the number who scheduled by the total number of patients seen, and that will give you a percentage, which is your reappointment rate. The easiest way to do this is to print off a copy of your schedule at the beginning of the day and put a Y on every patient who's scheduled before leaving. Here's an example of what that would look like. As you can see, there were 17 patients seen on this day. Out of those 17 patients, 12 of them scheduled their next appointment. This would give you a reappointment rate of 70.1%. In Dentrix, the easiest way to see if a patient has an appointment scheduled is to use the More Information button, which is also called the blue eye. You can see on this screenshot where it is located on the schedule. You can also access this button in any other module in Dentrix. The goal for every dental office should be to maintain a reappointment rate of over 80%. If the entire team focuses on encouraging their patients to schedule their next appointment, and they use proper phrasing, then we believe that this is an easily attainable goal. Let's take a look at some ways to achieve this goal. As we mentioned earlier, the entire team needs to have the mindset that every patient should leave with a scheduled appointment. If even one person doesn't share this philosophy, a large number of patients could potentially fall through the cracks. The best way to get the patient to schedule their next appointment is to tell them that it's time to schedule instead of asking them if they want to schedule. Try phrasing it this way. Mrs. Smith, let's go ahead and get your next appointment scheduled. That isn't pushy or demanding. You are implying to the patient that scheduling their next appointment is very important. If you ask them if they want to schedule, you are making their dental care seem optional. Over time, you will train your patients that scheduling their next appointment is part of this appointment. It is extremely important for the patient to know the next time they will be coming back and it is very important for us to know when they will be back. By maintaining a high reappointment rate, both the patient and the office benefit. Everyone needs to use proper phrasing so they are encouraging their patients to schedule. Set some goals for your team. Did you beat last month's rate? Can you hit 85%, 90%, maybe even 95%? Work towards the goals, and your office will be maintaining a high reappointment rate in no time.